of vitamin C that's in raw milk, and it converts the sugar of milk, which is galactose, lactose, and it converts it into beta lactose, which causes kids to get scurvy. So interesting thing about raw milk, has anybody here had raw milk? Just for show of hands. Okay, so a couple. A little bit. Yeah. The Mayo Clinic used to use a cure-all with raw milk. It was called the milk cure. It utilized raw milk to aid a variety of health conditions, including tuberculosis, diseases of the nervous system, cardiovascular disease, renal disease or kidneys, hypertension, prostate, and thyroid diseases, just to name a few. So raw milk has a lot of benefits, and as we look at it, we're going to compare pasteurized and raw milk. So I'm going to try to do my best to explain some of these words. In raw milk, enzymes, which help us to digest and metabolize the milk, catalase, which is one of the enzymes, and peroxidase, as well as phosphatase are all present. In pasteurized milk, the enzyme phosphatase has virtually been killed off. The protein in raw milk is 100% metabolically available. So all 22 natural occurring amino acids are in there, including the 8 that are essential, compared to the protein that's in a milk. It's been reduced by 4 to 17%. Let's put that in perspective. Let's say we took your household income and cut it by 4 to 17%. Pretty dramatic change, isn't it? So when you look at the digestibility of the protein, 4% is significant. In raw milk, 100% of the vitamins in the natural occurring milk are still available. In pasteurized milk, vitamin A has been destroyed. D, E, and K are completely unaltered, so they're still good. Vitamin B complex has been destroyed by up to almost 40%. C, which I just mentioned, is weakened, and it causes kids that are fed solely pasteurized milk to become scurvy or scurvy-like symptoms. And then, of course, your energy production, because of a destroying of the antidiuretic vitamin, is going to be less. So that's been destroyed. Minerals. 100% of the minerals occurring in milk are still viable. After pasteurization, they seem to be very, very much diminished. Raw milk carbs and pasteurized milk carbs are virtually the same. So there's no difference there. You're still getting the carbohydrates. Fats, again, they're all available in raw milk. In pasteurized milk, they're pretty much, well, they're altered completely because they're put through the atomizer, what we call homogenization. So what we want to talk about tonight is kefir. Would you mind grabbing that gallon of milk for me? Anybody heard of kefir or tried kefir? The people I've given it to, maybe? Okay. So kefir is just a fermented milk product. You take that natural milk, preferably if you can get it raw. I couldn't get any raw tonight, so I apologize. I was hoping to have samples of that. But you can use any milk as long as it's not ultra pasteurized. Thanks. And you know what? The blueberries too. It's in the freezer.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. So when a product becomes fermented, we think it's like curdled and cottage cheese, which in essence it is. But the lactase in the natural occurring milk is going to create more healthy bacteria, the kind of bacteria that we want in our gut, which is going to help with digestion. And that sheet that you have has a list of just some of the benefits of kefir and kefir-like products, so fermented products. And we're going to show you how tasty it is, but first I want to show you how we make it. I'll go through the details of it first, and I'll actually demonstrate. You will get kefir grains. We tried hard to get enough kefir grains for everybody, so we're not going to give any out today because we couldn't get enough for everybody. If you want, talk to Valerie at the end, put your name on the list, and we'll make sure that you get some kefir grains. But the kefir grain is it's a living culture. You put the grains into a clean jar, and then you add milk to it. You cover the milk or the jar. So this is an example of a live culture of kefir. Looks like milk, but it's thicker. You're going to cover it with a coffee filter, and then you put the lid on so that you still got this exposed to air. You're not going to have any bugs crawl in it. It's just open air. It's an open air culture is what you have to have it anyway. So it would look like this. So the jar is just covered loosely. You set it out for 12 to 24 hours. Once the kefir starts to rise to the top, it's actually not going to rise to the top as much as you'll see some clear liquid at the bottom. That's the whey protein in it. Then you'll strain it to keep the culture.
I'm slipping down.
Yeah, good exercise. Because you'll want to keep the culture to make more cultures or more kefir, and then what's strained out, or the liquid, is the kefir that you use. It'll last for months. You can even freeze the kefir culture. As long as you immerse it in some milk, it'll stay for, again, months if you freeze it or refrigerate it. And that's it.
What kind of milk do you add to it?
We'll walk through that. I'm glad you asked.